Hey everybody. So I've decided that this study that I'm going to do through James and Ephesians is going to be a daily thing. And then I'll try and post another message on Tuesdays as well. So I'm hoping that this can kind of be a devotional. It is my devotional. I'm hoping that you guys can have it be your devotional too. So just a little information on the book of James, because that's where we're going to start. The author of it is James. It's a letter from James. And there's some speculation as to who the author is. The common idea is that it is James, the half-brother of Jesus. They get that because of the authoritative tone and such from the book, and who would have known Jesus better than his brother. The book of James, a lot of people don't like it as much because it kind of differs from Paul's epistles, and they think that it contradicts it, because Paul's epistles focus on faith, and James, however, his epistle focuses on works. Now, nowhere does it say works is how you get to heaven. It does say, and when we get there, we'll talk about it. It does at one point talk about how faith without works is dead. However, Paul would say in his epistles that because of our faith and our love for God, we'll do things. James is saying these are the things we'll do because of our faith. So even though they appear contradictory, actually taken as a whole, they're complementary. So that's a little background on the book of James. We're gonna get started here. I'm just gonna read a few verses. These first couple are very well known. A lot of people quote them. So I'm going to talk about that. Verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes scattered among the nations. Greetings. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all he does. So that's verses 1 through 8. So, as in every letter, James starts out with an introduction, and the letter is to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered among the nations. So all the Jews that are Christians scattered among the nations, and now to us. So that's the opening. Starting in verse 2. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds. James doesn't waste any time getting into the nitty-gritty of stuff and really hitting you hard with something. Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you face trials of many kinds. Who really looks at a trial and says, "Oh, I'm going to have joy. That's pure joy"? No. I'm going to be honest with you. I faced a trial over the past week and a half or so that really threatened to overtake me. And one day, I was in like 2 or 3 days into this trial, I got up and I said, you know what, I'm not going to let this consume me. I'm a Christian, and I know God's working with me through it. And so one thing I'd like to point out is that it's a conscious choice to consider it pure joy. That's really key that we have to remember. It's a conscious choice. For all of you that says, I'm in a tough situation and it's hard on me, yeah, it is. But you make the choice on how your attitude's going to be. Are you going to be mopey, or are you going to consider it pure joy? It goes on to tell us why we should consider it pure joy. Because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. In order for us as Christians to be mature and complete in our faith, we have to have perseverance, because things are going to come in this life. You know, a lot of preachers today are selling this prosperity gospel. God doesn't promise us easy goings. He says right here that we'll face trials of many kinds. And we face those trials, and when we come through them, with the grace of God, we come through them, we gain perseverance, so the next time a trial comes, we look back and say, I just made it through that. Let's go. Through God, and with the power of Christ on my side, I can make it through this trial. So, we'll keep that in remembering. Verse 5, if any one of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. Isn't that great? You know what I'd like to point out? We should ask God for wisdom, always. But God also gave us books like Proverbs and the Psalms and just about every other book in the Bible, honestly, to give us wisdom. This entire book right here is wisdom in our hands. So we should ask God for wisdom in our situations, but don't discredit His Word. God wrote through humans thousands of words and thousands of pieces of wisdom for us to take in. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That man should not think he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded, unstable in all he does. So then question, is there a place for doubt in Christian life? I'm going to be honest with you. I have doubts a lot of the time. But the key is not to let that doubt affect your faith. Not to let that doubt affect your faith in God. I have doubts sometimes when I'm asking God to do something. Not because I don't think He can do it, but because I can't do it. And so I have some doubts sometimes. But you have to take those doubts and lay them aside and say, but I know that my God conquers all. He is stronger and more powerful. And so James is telling us not to doubt here. Doubt is a human thing. It happens. But just as Paul says he takes captive every thought and emotion, we have to take captive our doubts, which are thoughts, and bring them into submission before God, so that we're not double-minded and unstable in what we do. Tomorrow we're going to look at 9 through 12. I hope this helped you out, and I encourage you. This book is full of just amazing stuff. I've been through it once before, and I'm going to do it again now. So God bless you guys, and have a great evening.